Hey guys, welcome back. Here is another non-Gen 3 game before Callus Invitational gets rolling. It is the DPP game that I promised you, and I don't know what this is for. I mean, it's a rated battle, so it can't be that important. But it's between Sprinkles and Soul Gazer. The reason that I picked this one, and I haven't watched it, I don't know who wins, I don't know if it's a good game, any of that, is very simple. It's because I know both of these guys. Sprinkles I've drafted on a couple of my side tour teams. He's done well for me consistently. He's actually a really good teammate, believe it or not. Soulgazer, on the other hand, was on my SPL team briefly. He did end up getting traded elsewhere, and he's been around the Smogon and competitive Pokemon community for a long time. These are both guys that, if you're in the tour scene, you probably know them to some extent or another, and they both definitely can play some mean DPP. So here we are, an intense, high stakes ladder game. Here we go. So the Sprinkler, formerly known as Sprinkles, on the bottom. He's got a T-Tower lead and there's a Zapdos lead on the other side. These are both pretty standard. Toxic missing is not such a good start for Soul Gazer, but it is just going to be Stealth Rock for T-Tower. It doesn't get cute or go for Stone Edge or anything like that. But it is obviously an advantage for Sprinkler getting those rocks off for nothing. Interesting that he goes for Toxic again. Zapdos not scared here. Perhaps it is a bulky set with Roost. Makes sense with Toxic, right? And there is a Crunch and a Defense drop. So a good early sequence here for T-Tar, catching a couple of little breaks that he needs. And there is the Pursuit on the Zapdos on the way out, which takes 48%. Hippowdon comes in. That's a pretty good T-Tar check. It's going to scare it out. And now he sets up rocks for himself as Starmie comes in. Starmie obviously has Rapid Spin. Question is, does he want to go for it here? No Ghost. That is Clefable. That does not block Rapid Spin, but it can set up on Starmie. Rapid Spin does come down, so rocks removed for the Sprinkler. But Champ is going to be the check to Clefable. Remember, it is normal right now. Fairies do not exist just yet. Got to wait a couple gens for that. And Knockoff is going to remove lefties from Champ. Obviously a stall team here if you couldn't tell already, but this should obviously make it pretty clear. The Fortress coming in, so Hippowdon, Fortress, Clefable, very, very stally here for Soul Gazer, and the Zapdos defensive minded as well, presumably, almost certainly, has Roost, though he hasn't had a chance to do that yet. Two deep punches from Machamp. With his ability No Guard, those can't miss, so those are pretty punishing. Rapid Spin does get off anyway, and the Poison T-Tar comes in as spikes get established for Soul Gazer. Last time he went for the Hippo into the T-Tar. This time he's going to go Zapdos instead. And yeah, hey, I guess that's the right play. Sprinkle's not able to crunch and kill the Zapdos there. It's going to be a swing and a miss over prediction with Earthquake. And that's going to enable a Roost, so a missed opportunity. Sprinkle's got to be kicking himself there. Had he predicted that, he could have gotten him with Crunch. But he does get him with Earthquake here, which, remember, Roost makes him lose the flying typing. So on that turn specifically, Zapdos was just Electric, so he was weak to Earthquake, which is why that happened here. But Sprinkles is not winning this 1v1 because he's suffering the whole time from the poison. Zapdos can simply Roost stall him out. Gets greedy, though, and goes for Thunderbolt. Now Soul Gazer may be kicking himself. He's got to be wondering, wait a minute, why didn't I just Roost there? He must have thought that Thunderbolt would kill him to not risk the Earthquake retaliation, but not only did Sprinkles not go for the Earthquake, but the Thunderbolt did not kill him either. So both players with missed opportunities in the relatively early stages of this game. Nevertheless, leaves us in a pretty even game state. Sprinkles maybe with a little bit of an advantage because of how beat up this Fortress is, but Soul Gazer has the spikes down, or at least he did up until this turn, where there is a Rapid Spin. So yeah, 5-5, a lot of unrevealeds here for both. We've seen only Knockoff or Clefable, which doesn't really mean anything other than it's not a Combine set. And he's going to go for Wish here, see where he wants to pass that. Machamp, remember, had his lefties knocked off, so he is suffering from the sand right now. In comes Fori, going to eat another D-Punch, and there's a relevant critical hit favoring Sprinkles because Fortress would have survived that and then would have received the Wish and been healthy here. But now that is not the case. Latios comes in for Soul Gazer, and it's a Rest Machamp for the Sprinkler, which, again, is not as bulky as it could be because he is suffering from the sand the whole time. But nevertheless, it is going to be healthy at this moment against Latios. Calm Mind coming down. Sleep Talk from Champ is going to find rest and going to fail. Back in the modern rest rules, post-GSC, where finding rest with Sleep Talk is no bueno. And there's another Dragon Pulse here. This time it's going to be against Jirachi, which was unrevealed before for the Sprinkler, and it's going to be resisted. So Dragon Pulse, there is no Dragon Mind just yet. It's a Gen 9 move coming out. Dragon Pulse, Calm Mind. Haven't seen the other two. Could easily just be Recover and another attack. It's going to be Starmie coming in here, which often carries Ice Beam in this gen, but with a 2 Calm Mind boost might not be enough. And it is going to be Recovered just in case for Soul Gazer. This bulky Rachi looking like a problem for Sprinkles. Maybe he's got something like Body Slam here. No, he's going to try to BS him out with flinches via Iron Head. And he's going to do 24%. This has a chance to work, actually, because Jirachi is gaining lefties here, where essentially the Lati is not, because it's not sand immune, of course. And yeah, I mean, blow for blow, the Iron Heads do a little bit less than the Dragon Pulses, but he's faster and he's got those flinches. And like I said, he's got lefties and Lati doesn't, so there is a reasonable chance that this works here. And in fact, it seems to be working just fine. Lati is dead if he stays in and tries this again. And Soul Gazer is not willing to accept that. He can maybe pass a wish to the Lati later or sneak it in on something, get a recover off, what have you. But he is not willing to let the Lati die. He goes to Hippo, and Togekiss comes in for Sprinkles. Nasty plot. Special attack double boost. That is Swords Dance for special attacks for you Gen 3 people who are unfamiliar. And there is Stealth Rocks reestablished. But Togekiss here looking to do some big special deeps. Gonna start it out with Air Slash, resisted by T-Tower on the way in. But Soul Gazer once again on the back foot. He's gonna go for Stone Edge, fishing for a flinch that doesn't come. But the best thing Sprinkler can do is Air Slash again. That's not all that exciting. Well, it looks like Soul Gazer handled this just fine. He's going to switch to Lati, try to sneak it in on something he can get a recover off on. He's got the right idea on principle. I think he was fishing for the Machamp there, but he's going to find the Jirachi instead, which can simply Iron at him down just as he could before. And he instead is going to opt for U-turn. That's going to let him switch whatever he wants into the Hippo, and the answer is going to be Starmie. Hippo has to be careful here of a Stab, Surf, or Hydro Pump. We saw Surf earlier, so Rapid Spin, Surf, could be Bolt Beam as the other two moves. He's going to find Surf super effective on the T-Tower there, pretty good. Critical hit as well, and it's going to leave us in a 3-5 situation. Here comes the Clefable. Rapid Spin once again in Clefable's face. Nothing she can do about that, but there is a little bit of retaliation in that a second poke for Sprinkles also does not have lefties. Machamp lost him. Starmie lost him. See what he can do from here. And again, it's going to be a wish. Threatening to pass that. I mean, certainly not to the Hippo, but maybe to the Lati. And the last poke is Rotom Heat for Sprinkles. He can't stop the wish pass, and there is the Latios receiving it, getting out of the woods. Was in a little bit of rough shape from the Jirachi matchup before, but is now back up to a nice, healthy 73%. Will-O-Wisp, swing and a miss for the Sprinkler. Finally, Soul Gazer catches a little bit of a break, and it's going to be a second Will-O-Wisp miss in a row for Sprinkles. Not that the Hippo really is doing anything too exciting here. He just reestablishes his rocks. Starmie comes in once again to try to spin that away. And it's going to be Roar for Soul Gazer, which is going to get rid of the Starmie. That's going to bring out the Earthquake vulnerable Jirachi here. He's got to be a little bit nervous about eating an EQ. This could just be another Roar turn for Soul Gazer. Rotom Heat comes in, getting hit by the rocks. There's Roar, and I think he wants to just bring out, I think he wants to bring out the Rachi again, which is what happens here. But again, Rachi being faster can always just U-turn out of the way if he's really, truly worried about it. And once again, that's exactly what Sprinkler does. Exact same turn as before. He's going to go to Rotom with U-turn. He's going to get roared. And it's going to bring out the Togekiss this time, which is going to die to the rocks. So Soul Gazer closing the gap here. 4-3 now for Sprinkles. And again, Rotom Heat is going to be the answer. Will-O-Wisp, third time's the charm. No, he's going to go for Rest. So Rotom has shown only Rest in Will-O-Wisp. Clefable comes in. It can knock off if it wants to. And And he does, so that is going to be 3 of the 4 remaining Pokemon for Sprinkles. The Starmie, the Machamp, the Rotom, all having lost their item via the Clefable knockoff. Only the Jirachi still has his item. Thunderbolt there with the full para, or sorry, just the regular para on the Clefable via Sleep Talk. And here is a Wish, which once again he can attempt to pass somewhere if he pleases. Rotom is going to wake up, swing and a miss on Will-O-Wisp. That was to prevent a pass, so basically saying if you're going to give that Wish to something, I'm going to threaten to burn it. And Soul Gazer realizes that and opts not to try to pass the Wish. Thunderbolt crits, knock off paltry 5% despite being air quotes super effective. Neither poke in any meaningful danger here. Latios going to switch it at this point, and Sprinkles with a nice prediction knows that switch is coming apparently and gets the Will-O-Wisp off, so burnt Lati here. Good play for Sprinkles. Jirachi going to come in. Jirachi was already winning this 1v1 matchup, and that's before the Lati got burnt. So you would certainly think that the Jirachi should win this matchup once again. U-turn just in case. And he's going to go to the Starmie. Comes in on the rocks, 70%. Dragon Pulse, another 42%. That was a crit opportunity for Soul Gazer, but he didn't get lucky and catch the crit. And it's going to be Recover from Starmie. Once again, going to be met with a Dragon Pulse. So another crit opportunity for Soul Gazer that he does not connect with. Starmie probably can and will just sit in here and spam Recover. And Soul Gazer has to decide if he's okay with that, wants to keep fishing for crits, or if he wants to just give it up and go to Clefable. He opts to go for his own Recover here, but I don't think he's going to push this issue too much. Rapid Spin, and it's going to be Calm Mind at this point. I don't know where this goes for Soul Gazer, though. Yeah, Dragon Pulse is great against Starmie now, but you don't beat Jirachi still. And Sprinkles identifies that and goes to the Rachi, taking only 21%. Remember, the last time they had this 1v1, not only was Lati not burned, but he actually had 2 Calm Mind boosts. Now he only has 1. So Rachi obviously is going to win this 1v1 if they play it out. There's U-turn. Uh-oh, Starmie might not like this. It is not the Dragon Pulse, however. It is just Recover again. Soul Gazer, I think, is pretty far behind. Sprinkles in pretty good position here. We'll see if he can close this game out. I mean, Lati's healthy. There's a Recover. He's going to go up to 99% pre-burn damage, but it just feels really hard for Soul Gazer to win. I don't know how he closes the game from here. Ironhead flinch, not what he's looking for, but again, what could Soul Gazer really have done in return? Even a crit Dragon Pulse wouldn't have been enough. Ironhead again going for the flinch or the crit, and again finds the flinch. Why is he finding so many flinches? You guys should know this, but remember, Jirachi does have Serene Grace, so he's actually got double the chances on any given turn to find that flinch, which is why it happens so often for him. And U-turn is going to pass to Rotom Heat. I really am having a hard time envisioning how Soul Gazer can win this game. He could not lose for a while, but that's not the same as winning. I don't know how he can actually close the game and win. Whereas I can see a path to victory for Sprinkles. It might be kind of boring, it might take a minute, but I can see how Sprinkles can win this. I'm not quite sure how Soul Gazer can get it done. Seismic Toss there, going to be a swing and a miss. We might be getting into a little bit of a grindy stall situation. If this game grinds to a halt, I will up the speed on it so we're not here all day. But like I said, my conclusion is that even though it might take a minute, Sprinkles should take this one. Having a hard time figuring out how Soul Gazer actually wins. Latios comes in. Certainly a Thunderbolt here would speed things up. Nope. Gotta find rest. Well, there's the Wish then. And Latios gonna be healthy once again. Rachi gonna come in to check it. I was getting ahead of myself. I knew that the Jirachi was gonna come in to the Lati. And there is the Recover. This time he has 0 boosts, so 0 chance in hell to get through this matchup. And once again, it's going to be the Hippo. Ironhead there, 22%. Check on the PP here. No danger. 18 Ironheads left. So if that's the plan, run them out of Ironheads. It's going to take a bit. Fire Punch and Stealth Rock there. Well, I don't know about that play for Sprinkles. I mean, he's fishing for a burn. That's fine. but he set himself up for a potential Earthquake crit there. He's not going for it so far. He goes for Slack Off, and obviously the last move is going to be EQ, even though he hasn't shown it yet. But you've got to keep the Rachi healthy here. Losing the Rachi enables the Latios to potentially win, and you don't want to give him that path to victory, since I think that is Soul Gazer's only path to victory. Losing the Rachi through some stupid, greedy, impatient play, and then the Latios proceeding to win. Will-O-Wisp on the already burnt Lati here. Yeah, I mean, both players playing it out. It's not a tour game. It is just ladder, but they have every right to play this out, even though it is highly likely the outcome has already been decided. The last move does get shown here for Lati. It's going to be Roar. Starmie comes in, Rapid Spin, Surf, Recover. We haven't seen its last move. Gonna go for Recover here. You guys saw this sequence before. It was a bunch of Dragon Pulses fishing for crits. In this case, a crit would not be enough. As the Latios sits in there and suffers from its burn, it will eventually get its own Recover off, but Starmie is going to continuously click Recover until he doesn't need to anymore. Like I said, at some point, Latios is going to have to get his Recover off, or her Recover off, whatever. There's Rapid Spin. Oh, and Dragon Pulse. He's going to let the Starmie go. Interesting decision for Sprinkles to not go for Recover there. I don't know why not. He must have thought that would have been the Recover and or switch turn, but it was not. So the trade-off here is you lose the Starmie, but it leaves the Latios really, really vulnerable now. It leaves the Latios to where basically if anything hits it, it is not going to survive. It has to find an opportunity to get a Recover off. Sleep Talk. Thunderbolt, I think that, I don't know if that would have killed the Lati. It wouldn't have killed it outright, but that plus the burn, I don't know if that would have been enough. I just don't know the calcs well enough in this gen to know if that would do it. But Machamp is going to be the answer. It is still sleeping from its self-induced rest. And the Clefable is going to come in to check it. It's been one turn killed of sleep. Here comes the Hippo. And the reason that a lot of these plays are happening, right, is because Sprinkles has the opportunity to get the Rachi in at any given time, sometimes more obvious times than others, against the Lati. So Soul Gazer's trying to get ahead of it and not get the Jirachi in. If he thinks that the Jirachi is coming in from Sprinkles, he's trying to get something other than the Lati, such as the Hippo, in against it. But let's not overlook this piece of hacks here. There was a Ice Punch found via Sleep Talk, which is going to pretty much break the game wide open. Freezing the Hippo there really, really sucks. That leaves Soul Gazer in a pretty no-win situation. He's going to get the Recover off one time here. No, he's just going to go Dragon Pulse. But yeah, I don't know. I think that basically sealed it. Like I said, I think Sprinkles was winning anyway, but killing the Hippo there with that very lucky freeze is more or less going to end it. And there's the concession for Soul Gazer. So yeah, the freeze sucked. I mean, it's actually even less likely than a normal freeze because you only have a 1 in 3 chance in your sleep to find Ice Punch to begin with. So then you have the 1 in 3, and then on top of that, the 1 out of 10 to get the freeze. It was obviously lucky for Sprinkles, but as I had been saying for the past couple dozen turns, I just think it would have been very challenging for Soul Gazer to win the game from this point. I don't know. I don't know DPP well enough, but that's my perception of what I just watched. I felt like Sprinkles had the edge in the late game for several, at least a couple dozen turns. It felt like Sprinkles really, really had it likely wrapped up in the late game, pending a pretty massive choke, which certainly does happen sometimes. Alright guys, I hope you liked it. I hope you liked this and the GSC game. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Like I said, I don't do these too often, but I like to sprinkle them in there every now and again. If you guys want to see this stuff more than ever, let me know. And if not, if you guys just prefer, you know what, while you doing other gens, just stick to Gen 3, let me know that in the comments too. I'm fine either way, but it's Friday at the time of this recording, and probably when I upload it will also be on Friday. Callus Invitational 4. We're going to reveal the pairings Sunday live at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then that's basically the start of week 1. Normally the weeks are going to start on Mondays, but in this particular case, we're going to do it a little bit early for the sake of a live reaction video. You guys should absolutely check out that video live when we do it. I think you're going to like it a lot. I think these pairings are going to be really exciting. However they may fall. I really like the player pool this year, and I think almost no matter what, no matter how the pairings end up going, I mean, there's inevitably going to be some really exciting matchups, right? That's my hope anyway. But either way, I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think of non-Gen 3 content on this channel, and I will see you guys on Sunday for that much anticipated video.